Today we're going to talk about the next big thing in interior design and fashion, so let's get into it. Welcome back to Salty at 60. Today I've got a fun video, or at least it was fun for me to make for you here today, that marries interior design with fashion. And believe it or not, we're going to start in a very unconventional place at Christmas. Christmas in July. No, this video is not about Christmas, but it is where the story starts, and it's a bit of a story. So get comfortable, get cozy. We're going to get into it, and we are going to start with how this came about and how it ended up in my feed and where I think it might be going this year. There are those in the industry whose job is to know what is coming up every season, and so of course they do have July in the bag, all wrapped up for Christmas. And so that's where we're going to start. We're going to think about how last year there was that big Ralph Lauren craze. Well, this year it is still going to continue to be, in full swing. Lots of people still want the Ralph Lauren look, and they have purchased many of their seasonal decor in that way, as well as taken their homes in that direction. However, it has a twist this year. It is now going to be a much more relaxed, rugged, and cozy style, and I am all here for it. So I just thought we'd start with interiors. So let's take a look at that first. According to Country Living magazine, they have said, think country, western, English cottage, and American nostalgia all rolled into one for this look that they have dubbed Alpine Nostalgia. A cozy, rustic, and lived in style with a hint of sophistication. And I like how that sounds already. Each year, fashion and interior design intersects, but both of these industries have a hand on the pulse of what Americans are craving. And apparently we are craving nostalgia. People got a little tired of the austere interiors where everything is extremely minimal. The colors are really, there was no color or very little color. And that has also been how the fashion industry has been going for the last couple of years, with the whole dressing elegant and sophisticated and dressing very minimalist. And that seems to be taking a big turn right now. All right, here we see the ski motifs coming through in this style, where we have these old woolen socks with a ski motif on it, and then we have the plaid thermos in a very traditional style, and it's just a cute little look. And here again we see several different colors of plaid blankets. We've got snowshoes up against the wall, and then we've got this, I can't tell if this is a hooked rug or needlepoint pillow, but again, the ski motif. So here is another little cozy ski retreat that we see here, where they have painted the wood on the cabin, all these colorful colors. And we've got the old lanterns. This has complete with a barrel, and it looks like baskets full of pines, and then a decorated Christmas tree. So cute. So here you can see we've got all sorts of ski memorabilia here. A lot of it looks older. We've got this old red lamp. We have got the crisscross skis. We've got a nostalgic poster, a ski poster, and then a basket filled with pine cones and pine. And again, a plaid pillow and skis. It's just really cute. All right, here we have what I think is a mud room, and it's got all these beautiful, and they also look antique, potbelly baskets. And we've got what appears to be LL Bean outdoor shoes and a plaid blanket, just a very cozy look. Here we can see that a little bit of the English cottage is being incorporated into this design. That's because there is this nice tablecloth, the flowers, and then again, this very nice plaid rug underneath. The over the hearth, we've got this, it looks to me like folk art type pattern in a tapestry rug. Very rugged, very cabiny, looks so cozy. But this is a little bit of that English coming in. So I really wanted to share this photo with you because when I was trying to collect photos for this particular style, this actual photo came up, and believe it or not, these pieces are being sold by Target. So when it's reached Target, it's going to reach complete popularity. So I really do believe that this style is going to take off very, very big. It will be the next big thing. It's not a new style. It is just a new thing. But I thought these were really cute with the moose and the dog. And again, we have the plaid. We have the nostalgic print. Just a nice overall kind of look. All right, here we start getting into something that looks like more mixture of cozy, rugged cottage with Ralph Lauren by looking at this beautiful plaid, armchair, and then the artwork where you've got the pheasants, you've got the bird in the background on the art in the wall, you've even got a little fishnet hanging there, and then you can see on the very edge of the photo there is a little bench here with like spindled legs, which does remind me of cottage, and then we have like a heritage blanket here over the plaid chair. It's just a very warm and cozy look. It's actually a picture from Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren has all of his houses like Ralph Lauren doesn't have just one style. It's not all the traditional style. He has many houses. He's got his Western house. He's got his New England house. He's got his more tropical home. But here he's got some Western looks mixed with his classic plaid. And here it is lightened up a little bit in this bedroom, but I wanted to show you that because I do feel like this style is a marriage of English cottage, Ralph Lauren, and the Alpine Nostalgia. All right, here, as you can see, again, I think this is like a little bit of that English cottage coming in this shot here. You can see that there is a chair made with a very, like the ruffled cushions, and it looks very, New England cottage to me or English cottage to me. And then to dress it up a little bit, rather than using just a leather couch here, they have, you can tell that the back of this couch is velvet, and they did use a different patterned throw here, but the overall look is still very, very cozy and very rugged. All right. Okay, this next look, I believe this is a Ralph Lauren look as well. It does seem like a classic Ralph Lauren picture to me. I've probably seen it before. But here he's got the, the large buffalo plaid mixed in with the artwork on the wall. He likes to use a lot of black in his designs. And he's even mixed in just a little bit of, Asian style here in this gold table. And, everything looks very comfortable. It's the darker colors to set a mood. And it does seem like it envelops you in the room, the whole snugness of it. So it is another cozy feel, but it's got a few little items in it that just elevate it a little bit. Okay, next up, this is from one of Ralph Lauren's ranches. This is the front porch on his, I think it's the RRL or RLL ranch, I can't remember. And this is really, very Western. However, you could mix cottage in with this just by putting on, rather than using the all Western patterns, you could have put a cottage tablecloth on here or turned the dishes into maybe a classic blue and white. And that would have brought a little bit of the cottage element, or even a certain rug here could have made it appear more cottagey. But that's the beauty of all of these designs, is you can make them your own. And the other thing I wanted to say about this design is, and why I am so attracted to it, is because I have heard so much, chatter about how people don't feel like their homes are personalized between social media and what we see on Pinterest. Everybody's home is starting to look like everybody else's home. And people, I think, have had enough of that, and they want to return to something that's a little more personal to them. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to cover this in this video, is because I think that this is such a fantastic way, to personalize your home. You don't have to go all Western. You don't have to go all Ralph Lauren. You don't have to go cozy. The magic is in the mix, is what you can put together. And also, depending on where you live. Now, I do live in the mountains. I don't live in the Western mountains. I live near the Appalachian Mountains. So the views are a little bit different. It's not as a rugged landscape as a Western, a Western mountain range may be. But I mean, when I look out my window, there are mountains all around me. So I can take parts of that, and I also, can borrow from other parts of things and experiences that I've had in my life and kind of marry them together. So I just wanted to mention why I like this style so much. Here again, you see where there's more elements of the cottage. You've got this beautiful, Persian rug. You've got a patterned couch. You've got, again, very rugged you know, artwork on the walls, but you also have this beautiful English chair, or what appears to be an English chair, and this little wooden table they've painted blue. So it's a nice look. It's still got kind of that cabin feel and that laid back, relaxed feel. So let's go to what I wanted to show you that I have done in my own home before we get into the juicy parts, which is all the fashion. So I started to change things up in my own home about last February, because I started out with a mostly all sort of a coastal look. I tried not to take it too far over the edge because I still am, you know, hours away from the beach. I'm about a 3-hour drive from the beach, maybe just a little bit longer than that. But the reason why I love coastal is I grew up on the water in Maryland, and it's always been a big part of my life, especially my childhood. But even as an adult, I was able to live at the beach for, you know, some time, and it's just a part of who I am. So here you see in this first photo, I have got this inlaid shell table that I picked up when I first moved into my apartment, and I had the plant before, which that looks very cottagey to me. And this is a picture hanging up here that I have had since the 80s, early 80s. It was one of the very first real things that I bought for my home at that time. And I have, you will see throughout some of these pictures, is I have a love affair with blue and white pottery. And so this is just one of the pieces that I have in the blue and white pottery. And I've always loved cottages, because to me, it's part of that going to the beach feeling. It's cozy, it's warm and laid back. And so here I finally went thrifting, and I found this duck not too long ago. And it's a wooden decoy duck. Just absolutely fell in love with it. And I put that on top of a little shell box I have here. I got this spode plate with some sharks on there, although you can get all kinds of woodland type stuff with spode. I love that collection. And if you'll see off to the side, I have a wreath hanging here that is a magnolia wreath. That reminds me of the 20 years that I lived in, you know, South Carolina, because they're everywhere down there. And that's just a little nod to that. But what I like about this is I can change that out to, you know, a different sort of wreath in the fall and for Christmas, and then again for spring. And I've just got this. I had a chair here that didn't match my new apartment when I moved in. It's an orange chair. And when I went to go do the coastal stuff, I didn't have, you know, I had to figure out a way to get this to match my interior. So I just threw this faux fur throw over it. And these candlesticks, I changed them out to a different color at winter as well. So as you can see, this is a very versatile look. Let's see. This is a shot from when you first come in my front door. I don't have an entryway at all. And as you can see, it started out very coastal. I had this you know, white couch. It's corduroy. I have the rattan end tables with glass on the top, and then I've got these Bunny Williams sort of look-alike ribbon lamps. And here in the centerpiece on the coffee table, I actually had my mother-in-law paint those for me as a gift, because she knows that I like the blue and the white. And here I have just a little bit of coral reef. And again, my picture in the background is a sailboat. So it was leaning very, very coastal. And what I wanted to do was mix in I just wanted to bring more interest to my look and make it feel more homey, because one of the problems I was having is when I moved in, all the walls are white as well. And I have wall to wall, like a dark beige carpet. So I brought in this Western washable rug that I purchased from Amazon. I like it because it's not in your face Western, but it does have a bit of a Western pattern to it. And here you can see I've got more of the, you know, blue and white pottery. Here, this one has a little fish on top of it. And I just love that look. And here is a close-up of how that Bunny Williams ribbon lamp looks. Here I picked up this cigar box. And I thrifted that as well. It's just a wooden box. I like that. You see that a lot in Ralph Lauren's, you know, interiors. Here you can see, this was sort of off to the side of the room. I have a very modern chair here in the white. It's a white boucle. And in order to marry all my styles together, I have put these plaid navy blue curtains up. I also have a navy blue and white, just a nice fleece blanket. It's not an expensive blanket. And then I had picked up this set of nesting tables. Here I'm using one with this fish lamp. This is a great way to get that cabin feel. But here I'm using also with a floral lampshade, which I really like that combination. It looks very cottagey to me. And in the background, in the corner, you can see that actually I've had this quite a while. This is a Ralph Lauren stool. It is metal. It is not ceramic. And then again, I have a ceramic plant in a blue pot. I just love blue and white. So here's again that corner here. I was given this clock by my mother-in-law, and it just reminds me of the 80s and 90s when everything was oak, absolutely everything. And I like to hear it chime on the hours. It's just very nostalgic for me. And again, I have blue and white pottery at the top of it with some pheasant feathers stuck here and a little American flag tapestry hanging from the wall. You see that so much in Ralph Lauren stuff. And here on the other side of that window is where I have a motif. Now, I'm not into horses, so that would not feel authentic to me. However, I was so excited to be back in my home state of Maryland. And you know how states all have sayings. Maryland is called the Old Line State. And so I found this as well on Amazon and framed it in this wooden frame, and it just spoke to me. Okay, here is a little vignette in my dining room. Now here, I did replace these curtains with the navy curtains as well, but they had not come in when I was trying to shoot these photos to show you here today. But again, you can see my collection of blue and white with just some simple pussy willows and this little natural, you know, turtle here in wood. Here is the opposite side of the wall. I have this, you know, to me it looks like a fisherman's basket. I don't know what kind of basket it is exactly. And I just have a little reef here in the middle. And I hung up this hat that it just reminds me a little bit of the Ralph Lauren look. On the other side of the wall, I have these two pictures that I had thrifted for my son's home, and he does like them, but they remind me of, you know, they're equestrian photos, so it does remind me of Ralph Lauren, but it's not particularly something that, like if I had something else to put on that wall, I probably would have. But here you can see I also did use these, this is like a wine holder, and it's got, you know, the Western look to it. It's empty right now. There's not a bottle of wine in there. And here you can see it all a little bit better. I have more blue and white pottery, this old coastal looking lighthouse here that I love. I've had it for years. And like I said, this is just something I wanted to share with you to show you that this was so easy. Like I didn't have to redo my house. The only thing I redid really different were the drapes and, you know, the few little items that I've picked up, you know, just going to thrift stores and that sort of thing. Other than that, I changed this over from coastal into something that felt more warm to me, more personal, and I just want to share that with you. So let's get into the fashion now. So how is this relaxed style in interiors going to relate to fashion? Well, it's going to have a very relaxed and heritage look to it. It's going to be comfortable. It's going to be cozy. So what I am thinking is it has been, you know, the old money world here, dressing elegantly and dressing minimalist for quite some time now. I mean, minimalism has been very popular for at least a decade, as well as the mid-century modern look. And this style can work in mid-century modern if you have a home like that. However, I think what we're going to see is just a lot more heritage dressing. So you're going to think about things that are worn leather, you know, jackets, belts, you know, more outdoor type shoes, comfortable shoes, Western boots, Western, you know, throws and capes and all that sort of stuff. You're going to see a lot of that in this practical style. And I think it's a welcome change for people. And what I truly love about this style is how easy this style will be to buy secondhand. Because you don't have to go all the way into like a Western look or all the way into a completely nostalgic sporty look. The key is figuring out how to do these pieces and make them look modern and have them fold into the actual lifestyle you live. And I think that's where the beauty of this style comes in. I think it's a lot less about cosplaying like so many people have been doing or trying to fit and mold themselves into a certain aesthetic because they want to be read a certain way. So I think this is a welcome change. We've sort of been going down this road for quite some time. You know, we had all the cottage core looks and the tomato girl looks and the, I mean, I just can't even think of all the fisherman wife look, all of that. Now, I was always fond of dressing a little bit outdoorsy, but just maybe a little bit elevated. So I do like to mix like some Ralph Lauren pieces with just some very casual, cozy sweaters, that sort of thing. And we are going to have an abundance of that this fall. So I just want you to think about how this style might work for the over 60 lady, how you can fit into this and just, you know, really relax a lot more with our style. Also, what I like with this style is we're going to be moving away from just, I mean, monochrome dressing will always be in, but we're going to be moving away from just beiges and whites or all black. And we're going to see a lot of soft suedes again this year, a lot of Sherpas this year. We're going to see earthy colors and greens and browns and rust and golds. We're going to see a lot of ski motifs. And, you know, as I said, the best part of this look is you mix high and low. You can mix a little boho with a little bit of heritage. So it's a really fun fun look if you lean into that, and you have, you know, where I have been leaning more into the boho style and trying to mix that. I will say that's a little bit on hold right now for me, as far as I don't buy as many summer pieces. So I do have a few, but I tend to go back to dressing more coastal grandmother this time of year because for me it's more practical. So we do get very hot here in Maryland. I have my linen and that kind of thing that I just kind of live in. But I thought that where we could start with this style is, let's first take, if you're not a fan of the Yellowstone series, you know, we're going to take a look at Beth Dutton, who was the main character in this. Well, she wasn't the main character, but she was one of the main characters in the show. And so let's take a look at what she is wearing here. Let me get back over to the right folder so I can show you. Okay. Here she has on this beautiful V-neck, very delicate floral in a very earthy color, this beautiful brown. And it's you can just wear this with maybe some cowboy boots, or, you know, just maybe add a Western pattern like poncho. You could do all sorts of things with this type of look. And then in this look, I really like this look on her. She's got this plaid shirt. It's just a little bit oversized, tucked in. She's got this denim pencil skirt on, and it looks like a Western belt and some beautiful suede boots. Nothing screams like that you're cosplaying as a cowgirl or anything like that. And that's what I like about this look. And it just looks relaxed, easy, and a little bit rough around the edges. Here we see her in this gorgeous poncho. I love the shell horns on this cape poncho. I'm not sure exactly what you call it. It's a little bit of a Western pattern. And I think she looks gorgeous in this. Here we have one, and she tends to wear a lot of dresses like this. It's, you know, it's sort of fitted at the top, then flares at the bottom. And here she does have cowgirl boots or cowboy boots on with a hat. And that's probably very appropriate for her. But I don't know if, it depends on where you live. You know, I don't live out west, so it's a little bit disconnected to where I live. I mean, in other words, I might wear one of those pieces, like maybe just the cowboy boots, but I would leave off the hat because then it would start to feel like cosplay for me. That's why I said it's a little bit of a dance. Here we have her in this rust-colored teddy coat or teddy jacket. I really love this. I love my teddy jacket. It's just comfy, something that, you know, you could just kind of wrap up in. And just, you know, you're not cosplaying, you're not trying to be anybody else. Here, I love the Western patterns on this jacket. I think it's gorgeous. She's just doing a denim on denim with another Western belt. You don't have to have a Western belt, just, you know, anything that's like a little bit worn in. This could be, you know, a leather moto jacket for all that, or a suede jacket, or any kind of leather belt here. This just looks so easy and fun to wear. And here's another look with Beth. She's got on this longer coat in this gorgeous Western pattern. And then these are fairly light colors, sort of like a beige and a rust mixed. And again, looks beautiful on her. It doesn't look like she's cosplaying here in this photo, although she is playing a role. And here again, we're going to see, I know that we are going to see a lot of plaid this year, but she's got this plaid dress on. She does have like a little shrug on over it, but you could pair this, top this with a, just a gorgeous cream color or brown sweater in the fall and the winter. And she's got, again, very, these are not dress boots. I don't see a high heel on them, but they're that beautiful suede and brown. And brown, of course, is going to continue to be very big. So I just wanted to start with Beth Dutton's outfit, her character on that show, to just kind of give you an idea of how this is working in, I want to say real life, but it's not real life. But, she's dressing for what's supposed to be her real life. All right, so let's take a look at some outfits that I had to show you what I did in the past. Now, I didn't try anything on here for this particular video, but I do have a couple to show you here. So let's take a look what I did. Let me go to that folder. All right, I'm just going to pop up a couple of these here and talk to you about them. Here I have on this gorgeous, I love this jacket. It is so fuzzy and furry feeling, and I just like how easy it is to wear. It's the closest thing that I would feel comfortable wearing as a fur. And I just have this cashmere cream colored sweater on underneath, and then I had on these corduroy sand color type pants, and with these white boots that unfortunately I can no longer wear. My foot is just gotten too wide for them, and they're just too difficult to get on and off. So I'm gonna have to try to find something again this year. This is a beautiful Sherpa jacket. Again, this works for me because it's so easy to pop in and out of the house. You can just, it's not gonna, you can drive pretty good in it. It's very warm. I like jackets that zip like this as well, because you don't have to spend the time buttoning each button if it's a cold day outside. And I have on this Ralph Lauren tee underneath this in a Western pattern, and it's a black and cream t-shirt. And just, light blue denim pants with suede boots. Easy enough to look. All right, here I have on what when I was trying to lean into the bow, and I do love this. I guess it's like a duster type jacket, and it's got like a kimono type jacket. I love velvet. I absolutely adore velvet. I love the feel of it. It's such a luxurious material. And I have it on here just over a simple pink tee. And again, I have the same shoes on as the last picture. And I do have a leather belt on here. I don't belt. If you watch my channel for any time, you know that I don't belt. But, if I have something that, kind of hides the whole waist definition, but allows you to see that I have a waist, such as this jacket I'm wearing, then I don't mind it so much. Let's see, do I have any more? Yes, okay, this is something I cannot wait to wear. I thought I would wear this more this summer, but our weather has just been so strange. But this is a Chico skirt that I had picked up, and I love the colors in it. I like the bold pattern in it. And I also like that it's almost like a pencil shape going down. And I just, paired it here with these simple fisherman sandals and a gauze top. But I really want to wear that this winter with, I have several blue sweaters that will go with this. I've got a couple cashmere white sweaters and turtlenecks that would go with this, even black. And I just like the whole ethnic look of it. So I think that is a really neat look to wear. This here, I had gotten this little like vest and put it over leopard, and had these ruche suede boots on. Another really Ralph Lauren type look. Again, another for me, what I think looks like Ralph Lauren. I've got this Old Navy poncho on that I put a belt over, and again, I have that pink t-shirt on, easy to use. In fact, I'm wearing the same earrings here today. I just realized that. So yeah, that's another look that I have enjoyed wearing. And so anyway, I just wanted to share all this with you today, because I think that this is a really kind of exciting little turn we have taken in fashion and in interiors. And I am anxious to see how it comes together for other people, and for us to, stop dressing like we are in a monolith now. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I would recommend that you watch these two videos if you haven't already seen them here on the Ralph Lauren style, and a lot of the photos that I took came from that particular video. So I hope that you enjoyed this, that you will take this as your passport to dressing a little more unique, a little more for yourself. And especially if you are a woman over 60 and you dress casually, you can still look fantastic and be casual at the same time. So I will see you in the next video.